Hi guys, Mika here, and today we're going to be doing that story time, I promise. First and foremost, I want to say thank you everyone for watching my videos, liking them, subscribing. I really appreciate it, guys. So let's just jump right into this. I want to take you guys back to 2011. This was actually around the end of 2010, the beginning of 2011. I was 18 going on 19, and I adopted two little girls. So let's just call them Thing 1 and Thing 2. So when I first adopted them, they were really sweet and kind, and they really knew how to role play as, I think they were like 3 or 4. So yeah, it was a fun experience. But then, fast forward a couple of weeks later, and I got into a relationship. Now, mind you, I was young. I was like 18. And it was just Second Life for me. It was just all role play. And even till this day, like, relationships for me are strictly role play. We can be really good friends in real life, but I don't want to give you my real life, and that's a whole nother story in itself. But anyway, he was really cool. He was quiet, but he was a gentleman. And then eventually he proposed to me, which was really weird because he proposed to me very quick. And me being myself, I was just like, oh, okay, sure. Why not get married and have a Second Life wedding? That would be fun, because for me, it was just all role play. So then I introduced my twins to him, and that's when things got weird. So back to the twins, right? The twins told me that they were sisters in real life. Thing 1 was a little bit weird. Thing 1 told me that she and her sister were young in real life. They lived with their family or whatever, something on the lines of that, and that they weren't that kind. So as time went on, I started talking to Thing 2. And Thing 2, who was the sweeter one of the bunch, told me that they were adults. And it's just like whatever Thing 1 told me, Thing 2 told me the opposite. So then one day, I introduced Thing 1 and Thing 2 to my fiance. And they were very rude to him at first, but then they were sweet, and then they started talking to him, and then they started calling him dad, and then they started spending a lot of time with him. So then Thing 1 introduces me to her aunt, and I forget how I found out, but I somehow found out that their aunt was actually their adult account. So she would like TP her quote unquote aunt, and she would introduce me to her, and she would, talk to her aunt, and they would have like a full on conversation with each other. Mind you, she's talking to herself, and I honestly don't get what joy they got out of that. Like, I understand that everybody who's a kid, most people, they have adult accounts. But the fact that she would just sit there and pretend to be a different person for her benefit, I don't know if it helped her psychologically, if it soothed her, if it was therapeutic, but she would say, oh, let me TP my aunt. And then the aunt would just like talk to me and talk to Thing 1. And then, I met Thing 2's adult account as another aunt, which it was the same thing. So then the aunts started, basically telling me that they knew my fiance. So then Thing 1 tells me that she can't be around anymore because she's going to be homeless and she's going to go stay with her Second Life aunt in real life. And to me, that was pretty drastic. But to paint a picture, to try to get some type of emotion out of me, to say that you were homeless and you need to go live with your aunt, me knowing that that aunt is actually you, like, I still never understood this. I really felt like I was on a psychotic trip when these two were my kids. So I talked to Thing 2, and Thing 2, she was, like I said, the really kind, and she was the sweeter one of the duo. And she really didn't try to give too much information. She just told me that she was going through a lot in real life, and she, I guess, had her kid and whatever. But Thing 1 continued with this whole story. Why she couldn't be around, why she couldn't be my child or whatever. So I just stopped talking to them because it was just honestly so stressful having them as children. They were extremely needy. And I know their adult accounts were pretty well off, and they would ask me for stuff. And it was just like not cool because I knew I was getting played the whole time. Sorry, my hotline is blinking on Facebook. But then I heard through the grapevine that my fiance and their adult accounts were like mutual friends or whatever with other people. And my fiance broke up with me after they stopped being my children. So I gave him back his ring, and then I looked at his profile a few weeks later, and then he's partner to one of their friends. Like, I mean, I was young at the time, so like I said, I really didn't care per se, but I was just offended because this whole time I, was being this really sweet, really kind person, which I always am and I always will be. They were like taking advantage of me and trying to just ruin my enjoyment in Second Life. And I just really didn't understand it, because to me, this is a social network. It's a game. So I just don't get why people would try to go out of their way to be so hurtful on here. But that was honestly my first experience with that. And it was very strange. It was very peculiar, because Thing 1 was like really, really cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, guys. Like, for anyone that could sit there and have a full out conversation with their self on a different account, I give you credit. I have a kid Abby, but I could never see myself manipulating another person and trying to take advantage of this person and just having a full out conversation. Like, I really feel like she was probably going through a lot in real life. So she used Second Life as her negative outlet. So let me ask you guys a question. Have you ever had an adoption from hell, or have you ever been manipulated or had a child try to ruin your relationship on Second Life? I would love to hear your stories below, so go ahead and share them in the comment section so that we can all laugh about the crazy experience that we've been through. I would say that adoption on Second Life can be fun. It's a really great form of roleplay. But if you are the kind of person who, takes advantage of playing a role and you're just going to play a child and just be really horrible, I would suggest that you just be an adult, because nobody wants to adopt a child that's a little brat. Nobody wants to try to commit to like family role play and, you're trying to manipulate them and you're causing chaos. So if you are that person, by all means, just stay on your adult account. I feel like child avatars are for fun, they're for refreshment, and, these are people who are playing a role of innocence. So when you come off crazy and cuckoo, you're seriously ruining the experience for some people who really love family roleplay. So yes, guys, definitely share your stories down below. I know I'm a bad storyteller, but I just wanted to share this with you guys because I've been considering adopting again. And every time I want to adopt, I just think back to some of the children that I've had in the past. And I also have some really other interesting adoption stories that I can do another story time on. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next installment of my story times. Bye guys, take care.